Hi everybody. It's early here. I guess it's President's Day. Yeah, they said it was a holiday today. Yeah, I guess any excuse to keep schools closed or anything. I don't know. Day after Valentine's Day, start of a new week. Lots of things converging in one day here. I'm slightly annoyed this morning only because after a month of my wife's car sitting in the shop because a rat had built a condominium in the engine compartment, and the car had to go into the shop and have the engine removed and transmission, everything, all the panels replaced in it that the rats had apparently kind of taken apart to build their condo, which really is a most remarkable piece of engineering. The car was finally finished, and I went back and picked it up at the end of last week. These new cars with their computers and everything, it certainly would have been nice had the dealership say, be sure and bring your other key down so we can program it, because everything was shut down. They had my key there, so they programmed the car and everything. Well, I go down and get the car, bring it home, and my wife's key doesn't work in the car. It won't do anything. So they said, oh, we got to program that key. So can you bring it back? And it's across town for me. It's a long drive through downtown Los Angeles. So after I finish this, I'm going to drive down to the dealership and spend an hour while they program a key. I love my truck. I come with a key, stick it in, I'm out of there. Everything's all so high tech at this point. They're amazing pieces of machinery, but little things like this, it's just annoying. So I'm gonna enjoy this visitation, and then I'm gonna get on the freeway. Yeah, the issue is haven't been driving, haven't been going anywhere for the past year. My wife goes out, starts the car up and does something that she has to do locally once in a while, but certainly not a lot of driving. But it's amazing that this critter built this amazing condominium project on top of the engine. These engines, everything's all covered in these panels and plates, and so it was sandwiched between the hood and the top of the engine. It wasn't like there was a carburetor or anything in the way or ignition. It's just like a big flat surface, and there was a big indention in it, and that's what we think it was a rat was using as its bathroom. It wasn't going to the bathroom in its condo. It was going to the bathroom in this other little, like an outhouse. Amazing creatures. Nature's a remarkable thing. It's just, please don't be in my car. Okay, that's that day after day after Valentine's, like I said. It was really sweet just looking on Facebook and all the social media and everybody out there with great wishes to everybody and their loved ones and stuff for Valentine's. Pretty sweet. The thing I really have enjoyed so much is the opportunity to work with really great singers and songwriters, and especially the songwriters, because without songs we really wouldn't have music and industry like we have, because it's all so predicated upon the song. Like when I would, visit Neil Sedaka and Paul Williams and all these wonderful writers, Carole King. They weren't starting out as artists. They were starting out as songwriters and pitching songs. And then eventually, they ended up recording their versions of their songs. And it's always kind of great because they don't necessarily have, like the great voices that the artists do, excuse me, just really earlier, that cover their songs. But there's something really so charming about them doing their own music. And the artist I was going to visit with today, I talked about her the other day, is a really fantastic songwriter. And when you go through her Wikipedia page, it is deep It is so, it's really amazing. And rather than me sit here and just describe everything that's on that page, if you feel like pursuing it, just pull her up on Wikipedia and look, because she goes all the way back to the English invasion with the Searchers. She's won Oscars, Grammys. I mean, you name the awards. It's been an absolutely remarkable career in her collaborations with people like Marvin Hamlish and Melissa Manchester, and oh God, the list just goes on. Burt Bacharach. I mean, it's really remarkable, and that's Carole Bayer Sager, and I was really fortunate to do a couple of albums with Carole, and she's really just one of the greatest people, and she's really great, but a remarkably productive songwriter. So I thought I would just play you a couple of songs that I worked on with her that are just really beautiful songs. She reminds me that there's an element of her, especially in the very intimate songs. She kind of like a female Paul Williams. It's this kind of it's a quirky little voice that she has. It's not like, if she cuts a song and Dionne Warwick sings it or somebody like that, and they're belting it out. When Carole would do it, it would be a far more intimate and personal performance of it. And I think we recorded at Record Plant. I think so, but she did a lot of production on her stuff. Was the great Brooks Arthur. I'm trying to think who else, but primarily, a lot of it was Brooks Arthur, who I've worked with Brooks since, around 1971. And he is just a marvelous engineer and producer. And absolutely one of the sweetest people I've known in this business. And he's still at it too. I mean, the ones that are great and still healthy are still working after all these decades and decades. And still creating great music. So it's pretty cool. Oh, and it was really fun last night. I watched the Sound City documentary David Grohl did. And suddenly all kinds of memories came rushing back because I spent so much time working in that studio. And that was the first time I ever met Waddy Wachtel, was working at Sound City. Sidetracked there a little bit, but suddenly that popped into my mind, thinking about all these great people I've had the chance to work with. And that was another iconic studio that we spent a great deal of time in. So that was cool. But let's get back to, get back to Carole. Now, I'll give a left turn signal next time I'm turning left on us here. This is from 1981, and this is a song that Carole wrote with Peter Allen, Australian fantastic artist who I did his album too. And very flamboyant artist. I mean, he was a stage spectacle. He really ate up the stage and made it his. He was really a great guy. And this is, on this one, it's myself and Jeff Porcaro on drums, and Lee Rittenauer on guitar, and Mike Lang on piano. Warren Linning is playing flugelhorn, and Ed Walsh is on drums. And the arrangements on this was done by Marvin Hamlish and Burt Bacharach. So let's take a listen here to You and Me, We Wanted It All. Let me get back here.
You and me, we wanted it all. We wanted it all.
So delicate.
Passion without pain. Sunshine without rainy days. We wanted it always. You and me, we reached for the sky, the limit was high. Never giving in, certain we would win that prize. I should have seen it in your eyes. Look how all our dreams came true. See how I've got me, and baby you've got you. And through it all, just one thing died, a little thing called love, a feeling deep inside. You and me, we're not like the rest. We once were the best. Back when we were dumb, when did we become so smart and learn to break each other's hearts? Look how all our dreams came true, and see how I've got you, and baby you've got you. And through it all, just one thing died, a little thing called love, a feeling deep inside. You and me,
Dynamics.
we're not like the rest. We once were the best. Look what we became. Isn't it a crying shame that we almost made it, but we wanted it all? We wanted it all. We wanted it all.
I mean, just air and sensitivity and emotion in these. It's just they're just beautiful, like little vignettes of the songs. Where so many of these songs that have been covered were much bigger arrangements and background vocals and everything. And her collaborations, the artists that have done Carole's songs, is really staggering. It's really well worth pulling her up on Wikipedia and checking her history out, because it's pretty stunning. She's quite a force. Song. Let's see, what do we got here? I'm going to skip around a little bit here, because the first song was from Sometimes Late at Night, was the name of the album, and that was 1981. The one I'm going to do now is from 1977. I think this was her self-titled Carole Bayer Sager album. And this one song is called Come In From the Rain. And this was Carole and Melissa Manchester. And it's Lee Ritenour on guitar, myself, Melissa on piano, playing piano, and Paul Buckmaster did the string arrangements. Paul's Paul passed a few years ago. It was the most heartbreaking thing. It was a remarkable arranger. So the work he did with everybody from Elton to Sean Phillips to you name it. We did a tour with Veronique Sanson in Europe, and we had a 48-piece orchestra come from Prague to do the show, and Paul came over and conducted the orchestra for the beginning of the tour to get everything going. And then we had a young conductor. I think his name was Martin Dubrovsky, I think was his name. It was Martin Dubrovsky, I think, or not Dubrovnik. Was just great. He was a young, very well-trained conductor, and he came over and took over. Paul went back to work here. But so this is called Come In From the Rain, and this is earlier than the previous song, but it's really cool. Here, check it out.
Well, hello there.
This is really intimate.
Good old friend of mine.
Reminds me so much of Paul
You've
Williams.
been reaching for yourself such a long time. There's so much to say. No need to explain. Just an open door for you to come in from the rain. It's a long road when you're on your own, and someone like you will always choose the long way home. There's no right or wrong. I'm not here to blame. I just want to be the one who keeps you from the rain, from the rain. And it looks like sunny skies. Now that I know you're alright. Time has left us older and wiser. I know I am. And it's good to know my best friend has come home again. 'Cause I think of us like an old cliche. But it doesn't matter, 'cause I love you anyway. Coming from the rain.
Your expectation would be a drum fill, but still just
Coming from the rain.
just the intimacy of it is so, it's so refreshing. Everything, so much today is so overproduced. You know, just they throw in everything, including the kitchen sink, as the old proverbial saying goes. And to have something like this where you come to a spot and it feels like there's going to be this drum fill going in, and it's not there. It peaks and then it settles right back down again. It's a beautiful art form that really doesn't show up that often anymore. Usually everybody just kind of tries to pack it all in as best they can. Let me see what I've got here. I think this was another one. Oh, this was a really great song. This is 1978 also. There's Something About You is the title of it, and it's Carole and Marvin Hamlish. And on this one, it's myself on bass, Ed Green on drums. Now, Ed and I went way back, and the greatest revelation was sitting around with him, and I've said it, told it before, but sitting around and talking with him and talking about our history, and me saying, yeah, I was studied piano. I wish I would have ended up with my last teacher first, because I might have stuck with piano, because she was an amazing teacher. Her name was Debbie Green. And Ed looks at me and goes, that was my mother. And I look back on those times, and chances are Ed was in the house when I was in the garage getting my piano lessons. So that was amazing. So it's Ed Green and Ira Newborn on guitar, and Steve Lukather on guitar, and Marvin Hamlish on piano on this, and David Campbell did the string arrangements. And David, the first time we worked, was on Jackson Browne's first album, where he was playing violin or viola on it, I forget. And David Campbell's son is the artist Beck. So all these things, they just get so convoluted and involved. But this is really a beautiful song, so I'm going to go ahead and play this one for you. And this is There's Something About You from her 1978.
There's something about you, something I see.
Dogs
That
are going
makes
crazy
me
up there.
feel as though I know you very well. There's something about you makes me believe that you and I are good. That smile you wear, I swear it looks familiar. By the way you say, will you be staying here a while? It's not as if I had nobody till you came along, but suddenly that all seems so wrong. There's something about you makes me content, kind of like a night I spent so long ago. But if I had known you this much, I know I never would have let you go.
Bring the drums back in. I love that.
But if I had known you, then this much I know, I never would have let you go.
To me, it's really interesting. You have one little segment in there where the drums come in and you have time, and then they're gone. And there's setups for drums, but they never come back in and let the orchestration take over rhythmically and sonically in those sections where you would have expected the drums to kick back in, which is probably what would have happened on tracks that were covered by other people of the song. But these all remain so kind of intimate singer-songwriter. And it's like this kind of the simplicity of the Marilyn McCoo track Yesterday as compared to where Whitney went with it. There's just something so appealing. I really love when I get to work with artists like that. And a lot of times they're just doing demos. I mean, they're recording it for real. I mean, we're making real albums, but they're using them as a vehicle to get their music out there so that other artists will hear it and then end up, doing covers of their songs. And but they end up having a signature of their own. One of the artists I work with a great deal over the years was Steve Tyrell. And Steve produced tons of stuff. We did lots of stuff from the Brady movies to Andy Griffith to, just lots and lots of things. And we were doing Father of the Bride. He ended up doing some demo for him. And the director of the movie, this was all temp stuff we recorded at his studio. And the Nancy, I forget Nancy's last name, I think she was the director of the Father of the Bride movies. She fell in love with his demos, and next thing you know, she said, no, we'll just use you in it. And an entire new career started for Steve in this, and he's been cutting albums of all standards. We worked together on Rod Stewart's Great American Songbook stuff, and it's just amazing how this whole process works in here. This will be the last song that I'll show you. This is also back to 1981. And this is called Stronger Than Before. And this was written by Carole and Burt Bacharach and Bruce Roberts. And this is a great lineup on this song. It's myself, Jeff Porcaro, Jay Graydon, Lee Rittenauer. They're on guitars. David Foster on piano, Paulinho da Costa on percussion, and Bruce Roberts and Richard Page and Steve George and Vanette Gould are on backgrounds. Richard Page was the singer and bass player and singer in Mr. Mister. So all these people are all very connected, but this is another beautiful song. So this will be the last one of Carole today, and then the rest of the time you can go discover, there's lots more stuff of her. So go check it out. Here we go.
And I'm a one percenter.
Oh, you are
I own a multi-million
pain in the ass is what you are. If you come back to me. Sorry.
And then you heard the whole thing before. And once again, I'll tell you more. I won't be a fool to ever let you go. But I had to go.
Little delay on the clave.
I need you back. I need your love. I'll be stronger than before. I will love you even more. Oh, I'll take you back. If you come back, I'll take you anywhere you ever want to be. You're the light inside of me. Oh, I'll take you back. If you come back to me.
Jeff.
If you come back to me, if you come back to me.
How would you?
Interesting, just bringing it, bringing that horn just the very end of the fade. But just pocket, groove, Jeff Porcaro, my God, just so good. And those cats, great guitar, Jay and Lee. So that's our little visit for at least this time with Carole Bayer Sager. But just a most gifted songwriter, artist. So, like I said, check her out on Wikipedia. It's astounding, her history, and the artists that have covered her songs. I mean, it runs the entire gamut. But I've been thinking about all these different people. I'm going to go visit some stuff I did with Melissa Manchester and with Peter Allen as a soloist and Neil Diamond. And one guy I dug up and I found the album, and it was such a cool project that I think I might look into it for tomorrow. And that's Dion DiMucci. So Dion was like a major player. When I was in high school, he had great hit records. And when I got to go in the studio with him, it was, it's another one of those fanboy moments. You walk in and it's Dion. And he is the coolest, man, one of the coolest guys and talented. So maybe tomorrow I'll visit some Dion with us. So I'll get back to playing them, doing bass parts for people and stuff and running around. So I haven't really had the chance. I'm going to have to get going now to get to downtown and get the key done for the car. And remember, tomorrow's the live stream for the clubhouse. So please come join us. And at some point, I'm probably going to end up doing, for those who in the know, you can ignore this video, but I'm going to do another video about the clubhouse and about the book site and T-shirts and artwork, because I think a lot of people have joined on that are totally unaware of all these things that are going on. And so I want to just do a little, my QVC moment, just to keep the brand alive. So I'll probably do that over the next couple of days when I get a moment here. Got interviews tonight, some Zoom interviews to do, and I got a green screen. I had to get a green screen for the video that we're doing with the immediate family. So that arrived yesterday. I'm going to unpack it and figure that out and then get to work on how you light this damn thing and all. But this isn't green screen. This crap behind me is the real thing. So this is like the brown screen. So I don't know if you can see. The debris fields behind me here. It's pretty insane. So, okay, well, look, have a great President's Day, and just stay safe. I'm hearing from more friends about people that are still getting sick. I'm grateful. Can't tell you how grateful I am that my brother-in-law is on the mend. But there's a lot of people really still hurting out there, and a lot of people working their asses off every day trying to save them. So thank you all so much. And I will see you all tomorrow. I guess that's how things work. It'll be Tuesday, so I guess it must be Belgium, as the old saying goes. So talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.